Put this right here. Make sure you can hear me. Test, test. Hey, this is going to be a short one. I'm a little bit perturbed right now because somebody's messing with one of my peeps. And well, I wanted to put this out so that everybody understands how this game is played. You know, I've got this little mantra about local marketing. It's kind of like a game of chess. I want to make sure that you understand what the pieces are, what the page per little pissed. What the pieces are, what the pieces do, and what the strategy is. Okay. Well, if the online game in toto is chess, your review game, that's football. And if you're not familiar with football, let me just kind of break it down really quickly. There's an offensive side of the ball, there's a defensive side of the ball, and there's special teams. Offense in the review game is when you do what you can to go get as many reviews as you can, and then you take those good reviews and you maximize them to build your brand. Okay, I know it's a quick one over the world, but that's the offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, every so often, things don't go the way they're supposed to be. I mean, they don't go the way they're supposed to go. You stink up the joint a little bit, okay? You do the mea culpa. You sit there and you show, hey, I am human, but at the end of the day, you're like, look, I'm fixing it. So that's reality. Best part about those is that people see that you're real. You're not fake. What's on the review profile is honest to goodness stuff. Well, then there's that third category, and that's the one that's got me a little bent right now because that's where somebody who's not a customer of yours decides to throw a little something into the mix that doesn't need to be there. That's just extracurricular stupidity that we now have to deal with. And that's kind of what happened with my client today. Well, this particular client. Sorry about that. You're all my clients, but right now I'm a little frazzled. This is how I get when someone messes with my people. It's just how it is. Okay, so here's the deal. This gentleman, quote unquote, decided to leave a 1-star review. Now, a 1-star review means that you're at the highest festivity. Well, there's a problem. This particular gentleman, we can't figure out who he is. So he's not a real customer because he put all the effort into writing all this wonderful stuff down here. The only problem is we can't find him. We can't see whether or not we did something wrong. We can't find that name, no combination of this name. We can't even use the description to match what could have happened. So this is just a burner. This is a guy who doesn't exist, who's just deciding to screw up the review profile. And that's a problem because the review profile, there is a method to the madness that we follow. And basically you find out what the average of the number of reviews that people have in your area. And then you make sure you have at least half that much. So if the average number of reviews that businesses like yours is like 100, then you better have at least 50. So to be in the mix, to be competitive, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we want to have at least a 4.5. You know, at 5.0, sometimes people look at that with a jaundiced eye, if you know what I mean. But 4.5, there's some good, there's some bad, there's some reality in there. But basically in there. Well, with this particular customer, we're rocking it. We're in there. We're doing what we're supposed to do. And then this goofiness shows up. And when I say this goofiness, check this out. So when you click on Mr. Joseph Williams, you see that he's got one contribution. You click on this bad boy, one review, no ratings or anything. So this person fell from the sky, showed up one day and dropped one review in Google. It's a burner account. This is either a disgruntled ex-employee, current employee, something like that, or it's a competitor who doesn't like how much goodness is starting to show up from my client. Either way, this isn't real. Now, if we don't do something about this, if we just let it stand, then we're violating the number one Chris Carter rule about who gets the last word. We get the last word. It's your business. You get the last word. So no one drops a review without getting some kind of response. Now, I did an article, I think a week ago, maybe a few days ago, that said why you need to respond to Google reviews. And we talked about this kind of stuff. But more importantly, you build the muscle memory of checking your Google reviews. Now, this bad boy right here, let me go back. Oops, over here. You see, it's only got about 17 hours. The paint's still fresh, or should we say it's still aromatic, if you know what I mean. So that means that we have some time to do something with this. We don't let these things get old. Someone drops it, we respond to it. And the reason we do that is because right now this hasn't quite shown up on the review profile, but it will, because that's just the way it is. And when it does, our response is going to be there. Now I know I've got my coaching program has a lot of hands off to it, but when one of these shows up, It's hands on, all hands on deck. Let's get it right, because this is a moment for us to do, like I said, special teams, turn defense into offense. Because obviously this Mr. Jefferson Williams doesn't really care. He's just trying to do damage. He doesn't care what we're going to say. But you know who does care? All those other people who are going to wander around and take a look at this review profile, they are curious about this response. We do a good response, and we're going to get more goodness out of this. It's kind of annoying that it's a 1-star review, and it kind of throws the profile off, but it is what it is. You got to play the game. You're going to get scuffed up. You're going to hit the disable list a little bit, throw some tape on it, get back out into play. That's what we're going to have to do. But in any event, I just wanted to show this to you. Really annoying. Really annoying. But it's the price of doing business. It's what you got to do. So my takeaway from this is, if I happen in the course of how we're set up, if I'm managing your Google My Business profile, that I'm going to get the email, in addition to you obviously, that says, hey, you've got a review. If I notice it's a 5-star review, I'm going, hey, good luck. Go make sure you respond to that. If it's a 1-star review, expect to hear from me, because we want to make sure we get this part right. We're going to put too much effort into crafting this online profile to let somebody come along, some ne'er-do-well with bad intentions, come along and stank up the joint for us. That's not going to happen. All right, rant over. Wanted to get that out. I feel much better about myself now. Now it's time to roll up the sleeves and start crafting a pithy response that, although we can't say it, we're going to say it. You're full of crap. I'll talk to you next time. Holla.